Hello.
Hi,
You okay?
This is Billy.
Nice to meet you, Billy. Dale. Nice to meet you. Hello. You okay? Hiya. You alright?
Andrew, brother.
You Suzanne?
I'm Suzanne.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And this is Aidan, me.
Hello, mate.
Cousin.
I'm assuming that you've never been to the house. Come on.
I think my dad has.
Let's get in out the
A
rain.
long time ago.
Used to go to Clough Road.
Okay.
Around the corner, didn't it?
Yeah, okay. That's cool. Let's get you in out of the rain.
A long time ago.
So, I'm sure Suzanne told you we're going to do a bit of filming of this as well. If that's all right with you.
Yeah, no problem.
it's all good.
No problem at all.
I'm Lily. I'm Lily. Nice to meet you.
I'm Dale, by the way. So recently I've just become part owner of the house here. So as you can see, it's modern, the house. But this room in particular has been partially restored back. So in terms of its decor. So we'll get you in.
Remember it, Dad?
Oh, and there's the LP.
There it is.
I bought it years ago when it first came out.
Yeah.
But you're looking, it's a pet. This is an LP by George Harrison, not the Beatles. Turn it over, and there I am.
You've been in school with them and then all of a sudden it comes out and there's your face on it. Complete surprise. Love that. So, whereabouts are you?
Just checking.
Show me which one.
That's me.
There you are.
Jeff Latham, Les Rowlands.
Wow.
Yeah. The Baz. That's the Baz there.
The Baz.
The headmaster. The headmaster. Yeah.
So
Sissy Smith. He used to hate being called Sissy. He was a rear gunner in the war.
Yeah.
So he's obviously not a hot man.
Which one didn't you like out of the teachers?
Oh,
because George said he didn't like one of them. And I forget which one it was.
We were in different forms. We were never in the same form.
Okay.
Until the last year at school when we were both in the remove, which is where you went. If you didn't want to go in the sixth form, you were going to leave. And I was in the same class as German for him. Just the one.
Okay.
And Tudor, that's the art master, Slimy Reese. They had some weird nicknames.
Yeah.
Now, he was the English master, Biff Bowen. He was the English master. Sorry, the maths master. And you could always get him off subject, talking about stamp collecting.
Okay.
And everyone did that, and that's what the lesson was. Didn't have any maths. Slimy Reese, the arts teacher. Tudor Adams, English. Don't know him. Dippy Dewhurst was Latin. I can't really remember the others.
Wow.
So if there was one who I didn't, who wouldn't he like George? Biddy Briley was a nuisance, but he's not there. I say a nuisance, he was another maths teacher, and but Dippy Dewhurst was great, the Latin teacher. Used to throw a bloody war duster like a weapon. He really, really was. He used to belt you around the head, you know, if you were a naughty. I was never naughty.
So you were in class with George. What class was it?
German.
German.
It was what called the remove. You had the third form, the fourth form, the fifth form, the lower fifth, upper fifth. And then from the upper fifth, if you were going to stay on, you went into the sixth form. If you were going to leave at the end of the year, you were in remove. So me and George, along with others, were in remove.
Okay.
Because we were not going to stay on. And that was just the one lesson it was, German. And the German master's not there. The way I knew George was we went to the same primary school. Because we lived in Fazackley.
Yeah.
Do you know Fazackley?
Yeah. I'm from County Roads.
Oh,
so I'm down there.
Yeah. And there's off Longmore Lane, there's First Avenue through to 7th Avenue. I lived in 2nd Avenue, and George lived in 6th Avenue. And we both went to the Ballhouse Lane School, which was over the road. So that's how I knew George before the institute.
Okay, that's
We
interesting.
were never mates,
Yeah,
but you know one another.
yeah.
And we both went to the institute, and that was it.
Wow.
And then
Did you ever get into music
I'm
yourself?
talking a load of crap here, aren't I? I'm talking a load of crap. It wasn't George who lived in 6th Avenue, it was Tony Workman.
Oh, yeah, famous Tony.
Tony Workman was George's best mate
Okay.
at school, and he lived in 6th Avenue.
Right, okay.
So when me and, we go to the institute, and that's how I got to know George, through Tony Workman.
Right.
Not through my mates, but through him.
Yeah. I was about to go home and do loads of research about George living in Fazakli for an hour. In my head, I was like, "This is interesting."
Get a bit confused at
Don't worry.
times, me. But
But you did say,
there we
you
go.
said which house is it? Because he'd lived in a few.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's been way
Wavertree. He lived in Wavertree.
Yeah, so last year, George's birthplace got a blue plaque. That's number 12 Arnold Grove, Wavertree.
Yeah.
George lived there for just under 7 years, to our knowledge, and then he moved here because this was a new housing estate, 1950.
Speke was new, of course, wasn't
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they got moved out. They've been on the council waiting list for years.
Yeah.
Got moved into this house. And then, he spent most of his childhood here. And then just before he became a Beatle, they moved to Mackett's Lane. All right. And that was there's famous pictures of him with his Beatle mopped up haircut waving to the fans outside the door. But his family could never enjoy it because they were forced out because of the screaming girls.
Because that's probably how he knew my cousin, Pauline.
Okay.
She lives in Bray Road.
Okay.
You know Bray Road?
No, I don't.
It's
Just round it.
Speke,
Okay.
near the Grafton than here.
Yeah.
And they were bombed out. Pauline, Ronnie, and me aunt. That was it. My uncle Bust. His name was Percival Edward. Don't ask me why he's called Uncle Bust. Auntie Flo.
Yeah.
They moved in with us in Fazakli because they were bombed out. And they moved here because it was a new housing estate.
Yeah.
You know. And George knew Pauline. I was saying to the kids, I don't remember. 4 of us was from the institute. One lived in Fazakli, one in Aintree, one in Grafton, and one in Speke, Clough Road, just round the corner from here.
Okay.
And we used to go to each other's house on a Saturday night, different one every week. And I can't remember whether George came to our house with Pauline, because with them both living in Speke. Because there was a lad lived in Speke, they could all come down together. I wouldn't swear on my life that he did. But they knew one another. And claims to fame.
Yeah.
Went on a bike ride to Llangollen.
Wow.
With
That's
George.
a 4 bike ride as well.
It's a hell of a bike ride, believe me.
Yeah.
With George and Tony Workman didn't. No, with Rod Green. That's Rod Green.
Okay. That's
Me and George to Llangollen. And they did a roundabout route as well. Going there, we went through Wrexham, which is not really the way you go to Llangollen from Merseyside. But we did, and we come round in a circle. And do you know Llangollen at all?
not very well, no.
No,
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's got...
Yeah, I've been to Llandudno plenty of times.
What's the name of it? The Horseshoe Pass. It's like that. Like that. And then we're on bikes.
Wow.
We were just cycle from Liverpool, and you've got to get up the Horseshoe Pass to get to Llangollen. We walked up. We did.
Love that.
It was a hair-raising ride back because we were overtaken by this bloody army convoy. Seems to be never-ending, big wagons, and we're on our little bikes there.
Wow.
We did it. And it was supposed to be 4 of us, but Tony Workman never turned up.
Probably knew.
Yeah, sensible.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's on there.
You weren't in many classes with him apart from German. And you
Apart from that one class in our last year at school. Yeah.
Yeah, but you did spend time with him, especially on the bike ride and everything.
Well,
So I said,
that was through Rod Green. Because, well, as I say, lived in Clough Road there.
Yeah.
And we used to chat, but we were never great mates. We were never great mates, you know.
Yeah.
And, well, we used to chat, hello, George. Hello, Billy. And that's the only way I knew McCartney, because Paul was a year older than us. Well, he wasn't a year, he's only 6 months older, but it's a different 1 year in school.
Of course,
difference. Yeah. So, hello, Paul, hello, Billy, but didn't go any further than that.
Did you ever get to meet John while John was in the art college? No. Okay.
He lived in the art school next door, didn't he? Worked in the art school.
Yeah.
Went to school in the art school next door. No, never met him. Or Ringo, or Pete Best.
Yeah.
No.
Did you ever get involved in like the Merseybeat scene? Like, did you ever get in a band yourself, skiffle or anything? No, it was not your thing.
No.
My dad was in one for the school.
Well, okay.
Can't even play a mouth organ, me. My dad could play the spoons. Good. Very good on the spoons, my dad. No, I never got involved in that. But because there were quite a few. I mean, you know, Jerry and the Pacemakers.
Yeah.
Well, their bass player, Les Chadwick, is on here somewhere. Okay. He went to the Institute, you know, but I didn't know him other than Les Chadwick. And but it was only when I found out that he was in Jerry and the Pacemakers that we knew.
What was it like at that time? Like early 1960s, the Beatles become the Beatles, the huge. Like, did you ever get any like media or anyone coming to you asking questions or no one?
Not really.
At that time.
I mean, the only one time I saw George after we'd all left school and after he was in the Beatles was before he'd made it, mind you. We used to go to a club called the Civil Service Club.
Okay.
Downtown, back Castle Street, just by the town hall. And that became Tommy Smith's club. You know Tommy Smith?
Ex-Liverpool legend, yeah.
Well, he took over from the Civil Service Club. And the Beatles came and they were the band for the week. But just another bloody band, you know.
Yeah. Love that.
They hadn't made it at all. But I was chatting to them then. Well, that was the one and only time since school that I talked to either of them. You know. But there we go.
Didn't you see them in the Grafton though? You wouldn't go to the cavern, would you?
Hey?
You wouldn't go to the cavern because they didn't survey it.
Yeah.
Oh, went to the cavern once.
Oh, I thought you didn't go.
Yeah.
I thought you saw them in the Grafton.
It was dry.
Yeah, no. Didn't you see them in the Grafton?
Your mother reckons.
Yeah.
So I can't remember. She said she reckons it's the first time she not met me but saw me.
Okay.
And I fell immediately.
Of course.
Yeah.
Legendary. I'll put this online, but people need to know that everyone fell for each other in the Grafton, didn't they? That was the place. I'm pretty sure me nan and granddad met in the Grafton. Grab a granny in the Grafton. Oh dear. Oh.
We saw. I don't remember seeing them at all.
So this was the house that George had his memories of while in the city of Liverpool. People can stay here. It's an Airbnb. You can easily find out its availability. Visit daleliverpool.com. You can find out about staying inside the house. But as well as that, I do tours of the house and from the house as well. So if you would like to stay in George Harrison's house and also have a VIP executive tour of Liverpool with me in a private executive vehicle, feel free to get in touch. You can find out all the information on daleliverpool.com. And you can also find out about how you can book in to stay in George Harrison's house.
And what was it talking about? We went to see the Beatles, that's right, with them.
Yeah.
At the Grafton, the ones. But it wasn't the time that your mother was talking about. Like when she was taken aback at such a vision of loveliness. And we're still together.
How long's that been then?
60 years in April.
60 years married. Wow, 60 years together.
Yeah.
Wow. And you were saying that to me when you walked in the door.
Yeah.
What was that? When did you find out that you were on the album cover?
Well, I mean, I worked in Kirby at the time. Well, I worked in Kirby for quite a while. And there was a shop called Woolco, which was related to Woolies, related to Woolworths. And I went in and they had all records and books and whatnot. And I was just flicking through. No, you know, it's like, oh, there's one of George. turn over. What a handsome chap. George, of course.
Love it.
Yeah, no, I was just looking through the records and came across it.
Wow.
And I didn't buy it there and then. I don't know why. And I went back to work and I told them all, I'm on an LP. So they made me go and buy it.
Wow.
Dark Horse.
What I'm going to do in a little bit is that if you can sign this for us, over your face if you want, or on the back, whatever you want to sign it, get your autograph.
Yeah, okay.
And but yeah,
Give it anybody else pays.
look at this. VIP treatment today.
Fame at last.
But no, I love that.
Yeah.
Well,
it'll be an awkward one because I had a stroke 4 or 5 years ago and me writing is not what it was. So, what it'll be, you can say, Billy Stinson did that.
yeah. We'll get the photo of you doing it anyway.
Yeah.
So. But no, that's cool. Love that. But yeah, have you guys had to put up with stories for years? I love that.
It has
I
been
got that-
repeated a few times.
When I called you earlier, I got the impression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, and the only it's a pity I don't recognise Tony Workman on this.
Mm.
He might not have been there. Harry Lucer's his 9. Sorry. Hey?
I was looking to see.
Was Harry was actually in George's class for quite a while. In the 5-6 years we were there.
He couldn't come today, though.
No, he didn't come today. No.
Yeah, well, Ken's been on a mission for a little while to try and find everyone who's on the photo.
Yeah.
And so far, I think he's got 2 or 3 people nailed down that he knows.
Well, Les Rowlands is dead. Never made 70. He was my best mate in school. Les.
Yeah.
He and I kept in touch after school,
Mm.
but unfortunately he died. Rod Green, the fellow who came to Llangollen with us, only seen him the once since school.
Wow.
We were just back walking down Dale Street, funnily enough, and hello, yeah. But Jeff Latham, he went to Barlow's Lane as well with me and Tony.
Yeah.
Good. Someone showed me something with names.
It's on. I think it's on the link on the website.
It's Larry Latham. That was his nickname. His real name. I don't know where Larry comes from, other than the alliteration LL.
Yeah.
It was Jeffrey Latham, his name was.
Hmm.
Or is. I mean, I say it, I don't know. I mean, we're all 80 or dead, aren't we?
To be honest with you, this is one of the most interesting things with the history of the Beatles, and it's something that's more important, I think, now than ever before, which is that we are losing lots of the people who've told this story for years.
Yeah.
There's so many stories then that go away with them, and so many things that we can cross-reference and be accurate about.
Yeah.
And that's for me. I'm 34, so everything for me is looking back in retrospect at the entire story of the Beatles, kind of trying to work it out.
Yeah.
So my job, I've been a tour guide for like 8 years, so I tell the story of the Beatles. But for me, I'm more interested in hearing other people's stories because then it lives with me and I get to share it on,
Yeah.
But we've lost so many of these people, when you even consider George's teachers, we of course know that none of them will be with us now. But yeah, there was a great story that Paul McCartney shared, and Paul has told it like around the world on major talk shows and everything, which was one day George got the cane when he was in school, and whatever teacher, I think, got a little bit too far up the wrist. And George came home here to his dad, told him, he was like, this is what's happened to me. And George's dad came to the school the next day, called the teacher out and punched him. Right? And that's a famous story that Paul has shared about George when growing up. So that's I'd love to know which teacher it was. That's the thing. Be very interesting.
Well, the one thing, I don't know, George was a bit of a hard knock at school.
Yeah.
He got in quite a few fights with other lads.
Yeah.
And people stay clear of him for that reason, you know. I mean, I was looking insofar as he knew people from Speke and, you know. But Tony Wakeman was, the way they met, there was this fella who was picking on George. And Tony Wakeman just came up and walloped him black eye. And that's how Tony and George got together and stayed best mates throughout school. But whatever happened to Tony, I don't know. I haven't got a clue. But not many people know that about George. He was a bit of a bugger.
Yeah, well, I've read plenty about him, especially, I mean, you know, such was that time as well. And growing up in Speke and coming from Wavertree originally as well. I love the fact that even towards the end of his life with George, he had that incident where the burglar broke into his house and stabbed him, and he got a fire poker, battered the burglar, pinned him down until the police arrived. I love that story about George. You know, I think he was a hard knock till the very end, wasn't he? Yeah.
He was.
What I'm going to do is in a minute I'll get a picture of you we'll sign it and everything. Ken's asked for a picture outside the house. Picture sat somewhere in here as well.
Whatever.
And whatever you want to do. But for now, have a little look around if you just want to explore. I mean, because there is like lots of history within the house, because George spent his childhood here, so this is where he learned how to play guitar. First time he ever heard himself on radio was in his bedroom, which is directly above here. And it was also a Beatles rehearsal space, so John, Paul and George would sit here practicing and playing guitar. Either be it in this living room, George's mum tells stories about Paul playing on the piano in the front room. So we've recently got the piano put in. We reckon the piano was probably situated there rather than there, but we're trying to work it out how to get it in. The lads would definitely practice upstairs in George's room. And they'd also practice in the outhouse outside. So there's still loads of features as well, which are original about the house. As you can see, there's still loads of parts that are the exact same. Structurally, the house is the same as well. So have a little look around, especially if you are Beatle fans and everything. Have a little mooch.
I was never the biggest Beatles fan.
You know,
I like folk music.
Do you?
Not now, I've changed. But have you ever heard of the Kingston Trio?
No, I haven't.
Well, an American folk band.
Okay.
I was into them. I was never really into the Beatles.
Yeah.
I've got one LP, I think. He knows I haven't.
No, like the amount of people I've spoken to from that particular era, and they all tell me weren't really into the Beatles. More a fan of the Big Three. You know, they say things like and loads of Rolling Stone and the Hurricanes. They were my band, so they were against the Beatles. It's great.
Well, they were just another Liverpool band until, of course, it took off. But as the story I told you before about the Civil Service Club as was, they were just another band. 15 bob they got for a week. 3 of them. Not a lot of money, is it?
No.
George told me that on the night. 50 bob for this. I said, well, you won't be coming here again.
Wow. They were normal lads, weren't they? And you know this because he was absolutely normal.
I never knew Lennon or I don't know whether it was Pete Best actually at the time as well, because we saw Ringo when he was with Roddy Strome and the Hurricanes at Pathelli Butlins.
Wow.
That was.
Did you see him then?
Ringo. Yeah. Well, I mean, he was just a drummer with Roddy Strome and the Hurricanes when we saw him.
Yeah.
And a year or so later, he was playing for the Beatles. Ever been to Pathelli Butlins? No.
I need to. No, because he was he played Butlins, didn't he, with Rory Storm and the Hurricanes. Rory and Storm and the Hurricanes were considered to be the bigger band.
Yes, they were.
At many different points as well.
Yeah.
So I'm very much interested, not only in... I love the Beatles, I'm a huge Beatle fan.
Yeah.
But for me, like being from Liverpool, it's the normal side of the story that I'm attracted to,
Indeed.
which is the fact that it was full of normal people. You know, Bob Wooler, the Cavern Club DJ, and Ray McFall.
yeah.
These people, for me, I love the fact that there was so many other people around the story of the Beatles. I think that's probably the most incredible part of the story.
Did you ever go down the Grafton? The Cavern.
Now, I've worked for the Cavern in its modern state for the past 8 years now. So yeah, I've spent many nights out in the Cavern.
Did you get a pint there yet?
Yeah, you can get a pint now. Yeah.
When I was there.
Yeah, the Cavern in its modern state, obviously it was demolished 73, wasn't it? 1973, it was gone, rebuilt by 84.
Yeah.
But yeah, the amount of stories I've heard of the old, dark, damp, dusty basement cellar, stinking, and
Oh, we went for lunchtime. Because we always used to go for a pint of a lunchtime. You know, I worked for the Corpy all my life. But,
Frowned upon now, Dad. Can't do that these days.
hey?
You can't do that these days.
No?
Have a pint of lunch.
Can't drink for a long time anymore. Got out at the right time, didn't I?
You did. You lived through a golden age, haven't you? You really have.
Indeed,
Yeah.
indeed, yeah.
Great music.
But I worked for Liverpool Corporation for 59 to 71. Then I moved to Highton. And then Highton became Knowsley. And I was working in Kirby. But I've been round Merseyside. Working. And when did I retire? It's
A long time ago when we were 52.
when I was 52.
Your mum was 47.
I was 50.
She wouldn't carry on working if he wasn't working. So she went and retired, and he had to work an extra 2 years.
You retired before me, didn't you?
See, you've been retired for, 20 years? It's 30 years.
It's 20 years, isn't it?
After your paper round.
It's more than 20 years, in fact. 93. 93 it was. Oh, 7 plus.
Yeah, that was only 3.
Did you live
I
at
was
the
still
papers
here.
round Rainhill?
Three
What was
papers.
it?
Hey?
Papers, St. Helens Reporter, and that. For how many years did you live with the papers?
The which?
The
The
papers.
papers when you did the papers.
Oh, right.
Paper round at 7.
It was a good 10 years. Kept us fit, that.
Yeah.
Delivering in papers, just the local paper.
Yeah.
And it did keep us fit, there's no doubt about it. I would have been tailed over before now. And it definitely kept your mum fit. So, and now we're a lady and gentleman of leisure.
Yeah.
We are. Aren't we? Being looked after.
Yeah.
Love it.
Your mum's made up, she got the house herself in the afternoon.
He's walking stick now.
Up there, yeah.
Was that still with Pete Best?
No, that was pre-Beatles, so that was Quarrymen era. So at that point, it would have just been the 3 of them. Odds are they wouldn't have had a drummer to a little gig like that. Colin Hampton would have been the drummer at that point.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've ever crossed paths with Colin Hampton. He was the original drummer of the Quarrymen.
No.
And, yeah, last time I saw Colin was a week and a half ago. He's still doing well.
So where about Diners Lane was it?
147, Davis Lane. It's just before his medical clinic.
Yeah.
Just literally that house just before it. And yeah, little hidden gem because no tours go there, but it was probably the first time they ever performed together, the 3 of them. And this picture, George, is literally right there where you've been sat.
Only a little early.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, and I've never found out. We all took music at the Institute. Everybody took music. And Squinty Morgan was the music teacher. Terrible. And I've often wondered how Paul and George got on with him. Whether he allowed them to play guitar or whether they had to play piano or whatever. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But they certainly took music with Squinty Morgan.
Squinty Morgan. I love that. That's good.
Cruel,
to my
really.
knowledge, John used to sneak in to the Institute and he'd rehearse with them. They'd actually start using the Institute as a little bit of rehearsal space. And apparently at some point there was an amp that was robbed by them. They took an amp from the music department of the institute.
Oh.
But yeah, the lads would also sneak into the art college as well and vice versa.
Yeah. Because my granddaughter, Andrew's daughter, was at the institute. Lipper. You know, George, Paul helped set that up, Lipper. You know, and Rosa was there.
She was.
Student of the year.
She was.
I love that. Yeah.
So they went in and they had up, because it's still the same entrance hall, isn't it? And all the...
Still same entrance, and then they have the Paul McCartney Auditorium, which would have been your old sort of assembly hall, if I remember correct. Yeah.
But it's the other side, isn't it? Now, the Duke Street side was the main entrance. Our main entrance, which, as you say, into the hall, was from Mount Street.
Yeah.
But we went. When was it, Andrew?
It was the end of last year, wasn't it? So.
And the entrance was in Duke Street, wasn't it? Upper Duke Street.
Yeah.
Which used to be, I think, part of the art school.
Yeah.
Where John Lennon went. I think the whole.
The institute's the university, isn't it? Where Rosa was the sixth floor.
Yeah. So, there we go. What comes around goes around. Or what goes around comes around.
And she went to Quarrymen as well, where John went.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Calderstones,
Yeah.
I went into Calderstone. I've got a little boy who's 12, so I was looking for new high schools, looking for a high school. And I went to Calderstones, and I thought to myself, he's probably not going to go there because it was too far away. Yeah. But I was like, I need to go because of the Quarrymen, it's history. And I went in, chatted to the headmaster, and I said to him, like, at the time I was manager of the Magical Mystery Tour, and I said, I'm one of the managers of the Magical Mystery Tour. I've come here, I'm a huge Beatles fan. And he said to me, we don't really talk about John Lennon much because he wasn't that well behaved. But it was just like genuinely. And I was like, wow. And I actually walked around the place, there was no mention of John. Yeah. But I went into one of the rooms, I think it was the music class, and there was a picture of John. But there was like other musicians, it was kind of just glossed over. Yeah. I thought, this is crazy.
There's so much we don't know. With JL somewhere.
I've heard, yeah. But Ringo's school did exactly that, by the way. Yeah. Ringo barely ever went to school, didn't do well at all. And the second he became a Beatle, all of a sudden it was enshrined. There was a desk that had Ringo. I love that. So yeah.
I've just bought 2 hearing aids.
Yeah.
Still in the classroom.
Yeah, you have to wear them.
I know.
You've done well, though. I mean, I've tried to speak as loud as I can, you've understood.
Not too bad. Didn't you?
It is not too bad. I'll start wearing them. Shut your mother up.
Do you want to get some pictures together?
Yeah,
get, Is there reading in the house? Why not? Oh.
She looks upon her daddy lovingly.
Love it. Beautiful. Let's get a photo with that album.
Just me dad.
I'm happy with both of you, or whatever you feel comfortable with. Love that.
Got the same ears, Dad.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Have you signed it yet?
I could have brought me reading glasses, shouldn't I?
Can you see?
Could I just have a
piece of paper?
Yeah, let me find you a piece of paper.
Put it on the right one, Dad.
Not going to see much.
You haven't got any glasses, have you? What, you wanted to practice?
I'm going to practice first.
Show that, that's it.
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
Piece of paper.
It's get it for you.
I think I'd better just do my initial because I'm not going to get WJ Stinson there, am I?
Do you on piece of paper?
Well, do your initial and do your signature and see which is better.
Now that is one of my better ones, that.
That's
WJ Stinson.
Okay.
WJS is what you get. It's not going to show up really, is it? The black is on that.
Yeah, we'll tell you what. Do you reckon, how's the back of it looking? Yeah, it's very dark all round, isn't it?
Or in the sky.
The inside is dark as well.
Yeah.
What about the sky and the clouds? Or...
Yeah. So let's get over here so you finish. Whatever you like. In fact, do it over your face.
Hey?
Do it over your face. There you go.
Well done.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
It is, it's just
You
about...
can make it out.
And just make out the WJS, the rest is just a squiggle. Because one of my jobs when I worked at the Corby was signing cheques. And the way your signature deteriorates after you've signed thousands of cheques is unbelievable. Because you weren't allowed to stamp,
Yeah.
which
Well-
is stupid.
Can I ask, is that the first time you've given your autograph?
No.
No.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah.
Well, your actual.
I've never given me autograph, no.
There you are.
That's an original, that. Could be worth a few more than years. No, I never have to give me autograph.
Oh.
You send them over to me.
Yeah.
Dodo, Larry. That's all my class there. All them are in my class. And Rod Green. It's all the same year, but all them are in my class because they were A through to SC. SC for science. But and I recognise quite a few paces, but not Harry Lutus.
Not Harry.
No. And Harry was actually in George's class all the way through.
Well, he wants you to ring him, doesn't he? Like, he wants you to ring him and tell him about this and how it's
Oh
going.
yeah,
So you
yeah.
could ask
Sure,
him.
yeah, because,
Ask him.
but he's not. He's got dementia. He's my age. We're all 82, you know.
Yeah.
But he's got dementia, Harry.
Here we go.
Right.
Facebook.
Do you want to have a look round? It's up to you.
You want to see the outhouse and the bathroom's just like my nan's.
Hey?
The bath and that's just like my nan's.
That's one, and I'm an Evertonian.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Are you?
I'm a red.
I am a red.
We all are.
Drink everybody.
See, it's the most asked question I get asked on tours is what teams did the Beatles support?
Right.
And I don't know for George, genuinely. I still don't really.
think they were great fans of football,
No. Paul done the cardinal sin, didn't he? He said he supported both. Your family of Evertonians came back and played Anfield, got up on stage and said, well, we supported both. That was about
no such thing.
Ringo, Arsenal fan. Genuinely supported Arsenal.
Really?
His stepdad,
Ringo.
Harry Graves, was from London and he was an Arsenal fan. So Ringo would go and see Arsenal games. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? But yeah, for John and George, don't really
My
know.
son is a Liverpoolian.
Yeah.
Failed as a parent.
Took me to 2 games and it scared me when I was a baby.
Took him to a couple of matches, he fell asleep.
Gordon Lee was
Gordon Lee's
terrified.
era, yeah.
Skeletal.
No wonder he's smiling. He's still celebrating the 2-2, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one thing
We've
that
heard them all.
is our Andrew and my husband have got to take him to the new stadium.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, at least
Both
once.
Reds.
At
The
least
both
once.
friends.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
Probably more, Doc.
There's part of me that wants to go in as well. For Arsenal winning, yeah.
I've only ever been inside Anfield twice. Once it was a European match, we were playing Convent, and the other was a derby match which we drew. Brian Kent equalised. But you know who I went with? Harry Lutus.
they kept in touch.
Well, I went to Goodison 3 times, twice with you, and once when Rush scored 1, Rush scored 2, Rush scored 3, and Rush scored 4. I was
Boys, yeah. Love it.
the only derby I ever went to. Uncle Colin had famous friends as well, didn't he?
Yeah, Colin went to the Institute. We were meant to ring him actually.
He was
so
best
Dad's
mates
brother,
with
Bill
Bill Kenwright.
Billy Kenwright,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, our kid was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
tell me about it the other day.
No, it's interesting. It's cool that, you know, the National Trust have John's house and they have Paul's house. This house, it went to private ownership for years and then Ken bought it at auction.
Yeah.
And that was made headlines when he got it. And then he's partially restored it back, brought out the original features. And it's an Airbnb, so people can stay here.
Yeah.
They stay
Yeah.
here overnight and everything,
Yeah.
which is nice. But yeah, it's still quite an exclusive thing. I like that.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the architecture bit and that.
That
And that
used
used to be the alleyway.
That used to be the alleyway. And this week, when I've tried to do my digging, there was loads of stories about the fact that everyone would go along this little alleyway and loads of stories about kissing girls in this little alleyway. Yeah,
That's what he was told.
read plenty of them. Yeah. But yeah, they picked it all up and then it's now part of the house.
Game
I'm happy to go with you.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Come on.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, wait there. You can't come here and not get this picture.
Oh, we've got to get a picture, Dad.
Yeah. Oh, right. Famous picture of George. Okay, the car's going to ruin it a little bit.
The
But
car is going to ruin it a little bit.
stand roughly around here with that in your hand. Okay. And that's the very famous. It's a little bit heavy. It should be alright. You got it? Yeah. Alright. Go on.
Look that way.
That way. Look at that. Love it.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Have you got the autograph?
Got you. No, genuinely.
Of course, yeah.
Thank you. Look after yourself, okay? Anytime, give me a shout. We'll get you back in.